Thank you, ladies.
Wow.
Allison, I found a box of tissues.
Thank you. I warned Ashley as I was preparing for this.
Oh, gosh.
Even this afternoon, just going through some notes, I was already in tears. So
I've cried 12 times just during worship.
back there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hi, guys.
How are y'all doing?
Are we good? Are we centered?
Yeah.
Are we centered in the room?
How's the lighting? Are we getting my good side? They've really got my good.
Allison, all your sides are good.
Thank you. Yours too. Yours too. Did you hear that? Half the room said, "Aww," because we're friends.
We are friends.
Friends
We're
too.
really good friends.
Oh wow, what a moment to spend in worship.
Yeah, that was good.
To invite, like that was rich. That was so good. Ashley, you are usually. By the way, I'm Allison New. This is Ashley Neely.
Hey, guys.
I realized, I was like, wait.
Not everyone knows who you are.
And that's okay. But tonight it's a little different.
You know why it's different? Because I've got on flats.
Yeah.
Come
You
on.
got, lady shoes.
You don't get to see me in flats. Thank you.
Y'all Ashley dressed up.
These are not
tonight.
worship leading shoes.
No.
And I've got on bracelets.
Good. Yep, and your top, it's a blouse.
I know.
Yeah, you came ready.
I know.
I wanted it to feel a little bit like we were just sitting in your living room, talking.
Unfortunately, that's...
And then I was like, I'm in heels and I've got makeup on, so we're
That's
not in your
true.
living room. We're here.
Yeah.
But you are usually the one leading worship.
Yeah.
What in the world is going through your mind right now?
I am terrified. This is, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You can ask my husband. I've been a hot mess for the last few days. I'm like, no, I just want a guitar and I want to sing. I don't want to talk. This is...
It's your comfort zone.
No.
This is outside of the
Mostly because here's what happens on occasion.
Yeah.
People come up to me and we talk and they go, oh, you sound different than when you sing.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, I'm from Arkansas and you can tell now.
Wow.
So
Just take
that's
for
why I
what
like
it's
to
worth.
sing.
Good. Well, look, Ashley, if I'm being totally honest, I'm used to doing stuff in front of a camera where then you can say all the things. You just say whatever you want to say. It cannot make sense. It can make sense. And I'd be a lot more comfortable if that was the case right now.
If you're reading from the teleprompter.
Oh, if I had a teleprompter, it would be
Yes,
good.
that would be awesome.
Because here's the deal. When you're in front of a camera, then they can go, Butch and his team, they work magic. And they edit it all together.
Yeah.
And it just sounds good and really well packaged. And
That's not what this is.
that's not what this is.
Not at all.
So, because that's not how Catherine works. Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
I was like, y'all,
Oh, that's Kat. I should have
Hey.
known.
thanks, girl.
That's my small group. Whoop whoop.
Good. But Catherine, Mark, she is like, no, we don't do that. We don't edit videos together.
No.
We're gonna have real and
Conversation.
raw conversation.
Yep.
And so my hope tonight is that the Holy Spirit would really just take over.
Absolutely.
That
Yes. That's been our prayer.
that He would meet each and every one of us in this room, Ashley, you and I included, just right where we're at. Because the thing about life is that it's not scripted. It can't be edited, right? In life, you can't fast forward or rewind or cut certain pieces out. You just live it day by day by day, whatever is thrown at you. And so tonight we're gonna talk and have real, raw, honest conversation. And I've got my questions. Are you ready?
No. I'm so scared.
Just made her nervous. Okay, so Ashley, here's the deal. We all know you as the fun worship leader. You're my hype girl, the whoop, whoop. Yeah. Her kids made her stop saying that when she would lead worship for the students.
Yes,
Like,
my
"Mom."
teenage son was like, Mom, don't ever whoop whoop from the stage again. I'm like,
And I'm back there like, whoop, whoop, come on,
yeah.
girl.
And I'm like, look, they're doing it. And he's
Yeah.
like,
maybe
"You
it's
can't."
a generational thing.
Yeah.
The younger ones aren't into the whoop whoop. We'll get it though. But while we know you as the worship leader, as fun and energetic and kind, and you're a helper, I get to know you as a dear, close friend who gets to walk with you through all the ups and downs of life. And that's not always seen from this stage.
Right.
You haven't always had it easy.
No.
You've done some wrestling with the Lord. And that's what I want to talk about tonight, because I think it's important that we all recognize that life isn't always stage worthy.
Sure, yeah.
And that's why we have you here, as comfortable or uncomfortable as you are.
Yes.
I want to dig into that.
Okay.
Like a counseling session.
I should have worn my Vans and my
But free, I know.
and my stretchy pants.
Guys, I'm gonna do this real quick, and I just gotta clean my pants.
No.
We have a neighborhood cat named Chunk, and every time I leave the room or leave the house, she like walks up and she rubs all over me. And I was like, Chunk, I have places to go, and these are black pants. Keep your distance.
Chunk doesn't care.
She doesn't care. She's just like, feed me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Focus.
Back to it. I want to dig into some of the struggle that you've walked through over the last couple years. So take us back to when the hard things began. What happened?
Well, I guess I would say a little bit of backstory is I've grown up in church my whole life. My dad was a pastor. So I've been sitting under teaching and Bible and classes and studies all my life. And up until I've always felt like I trust the Lord, right? Like I trust him with my life, and I trust that he's going to provide, and I trust that he's in control of everything, and he's amazing, right? So the Bible says it, I believe it. Come on. And then a few years back, I just began to realize that I feel like I've lived a pretty naive faith, because life hasn't really been that hard. It's been pretty, we have ups and downs, and, I've had some valleys and wilderness type things where the Lord kind of goes silent and you're like, where is he? But the last few years have been pretty challenging for me, and I feel like it's probably been for a lot of us. I struggle with some anxiety and depression, and so a few years back, y'all remember Hurricane Harvey? Y'all remember that guy?
Yeah.
What a jerk. So I'm married to a husband.
Yeah, okay, cool.
This is why I don't talk. This is why I sing, because there's words. I'll just repeat them. My husband, his name is Darren. We are married.
Yes.
And he also struggles with some depression as well, which is not, I wish we'd have known that from the get-go. We may not have been together. I don't know. It's fine. We love each other.
Sometimes you just find things out along the way.
I know. That's
Keep
why.
loving them.
Yeah. So, all silliness aside, Hurricane Harvey hits, and Darren was kind of in a really weird place, and we've experienced depression together, throughout our almost 22 years of marriage. So this isn't uncommon, and but then Hurricane Harvey hits, and it was way more of a traumatic event than we ever anticipated or even knew that it could be. And so when the house is gutted and we're trying to rebuild and all that kind of stuff, and he slips into pretty deep depression like I haven't seen yet before. And so that was kind of a hard time in our marriage, and he and I, we weren't doing real well with that. I was not a very compassionate, caring, grace-filled wife during those times, and so we had to get some counseling. We had to get some help. Through the course of that, So my husband was on staff here, and a lot of you know that. So during this depression that I wasn't fully aware of, it was just hard for him to get out of bed. We were living in a house in Tomball that a sweet, precious family let us stay in while we were doing things to the house. And he would go and stay in our house to keep watch over, the dehumidifiers and things that cost $1 trillion to try to dry your house out. And the depression was just really deep and dark, and I had no idea the extent of it, but it was hard for him to get up and go to work. So there were a lot of times I thought he was at work, he wasn't at work. So it just got really difficult for him. And long story short, there's more to it, but it essentially just cost him his job here, honestly. And so it was difficult. It was difficult to continue to come here, continue to remain faithful, and try to be who God has called us to be here in this place. And so anyway, God is just so good and so big in the fact that he allowed us to rebuild the house. I mean, with no debt whatsoever. Just money was coming. I mean, it was almost like it was growing on trees, honestly.
It came from everywhere.
It came from everywhere, all over the country. It was unbelievable. People I don't even know were sending us money and gift cards and Lowe's gift cards. And so I watched the Lord provide in that. And through the course of some time, our marriage began to heal because I was having a hard time trusting my husband, right? Because I thought he was getting up and going to work, and I thought he was doing the things. And so I began to have some trust issues there. And all that to say, life has just kind of been off the rails since then. My husband has been pursuing jobs for the last 2 years and can't get one. That leaves us in a financial state, right? So I didn't know what else to do other than just keep doing what I knew to do, which was just come to church, continue to lead worship. Honestly, that is such a life-giving thing for me, and it's almost like that's my love language to the Lord. And so unfortunately, you guys just get to watch me kind of play out my relationship with God on stage, because there are times when I'm singing lyrics that I'm not real sure that I believe. Because I've watched God so many times just swoop into my life and provide financially. I've watched him swoop in and rescue me. And we're in this season, this long season of about 2, almost 3 years where he's not rescuing. And he's not just taking the stuff away and making it easier. But that's what I need you to do, because I'm being faithful. I'm doing the things. So I got to a place where I was really struggling. I don't even know what your questions are at this point. I'm just talking.
Can I say something?
Do you want to interrupt me?
No, I love where you're going. I love where you're going.
I don't do this.
But here's what I want to say.
Okay.
Because I was like, yep, mm-hmm. I stepped into my office today and noticed a piece of paper on my wall, and it's Philippians 4:6-7. Well, it's actually like 6 through all the things.
Wow, that's a lot.
But I have it because I've taken notes on it.
Okay.
And I have it as this reminder that I look at all the time. And I stopped and I read it. And here's what it says. It says, don't worry about anything, but in everything through prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. Here's what it doesn't say. But in everything through prayer and petition, present your requests to God, and he's going to take care of it all.
Ugh.
Rescue you from it, deliver you, fast forward through the hard things.
Yeah.
That's not what's promised, as much as that's what we at our core like ache for. Like, God, just take this away, take this away, take this away. God doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But what he does do, when we bring our hardship to him, when we bring the struggle and the trial and the hurt and the pain and fill in the blank, when we bring that to him, He gives us what we need through Jesus Christ to guard our heart and our mind, to guard what we believe about him, and then what we know in our mind to be true. He doesn't rescue us from the thing.
Right.
He guards us in it.
Yes, and that's what I have found myself learning.
Yeah.
And because when I read in Matthew chapter 6, and it talks about how God provides all of our needs, right? There's the birds. They don't wake up and go to work. They just wake up and there's food on the ground. He takes care of them. Look at the lilies of the field. They're so pretty. They don't worry about clothes. They're awesome. Like, so with everything that you do, just acknowledge me, and I'm going to take care of these things. Well, I'm praying. I have a journal full of prayers. They're saying, God, you're not taking care of the things. You're not doing it. You're not paying my bills. You're not fixing my marriage. I'm doing the things. Isn't there like some like formula? Like you do this, I do this, we do this, and this happens. And it's not the case. And so I'm writing and I'm saying things to the Lord, and I know that he hears me, and I know that he's okay with me coming to him like that, but I'm saying, God, you're not meeting my needs. My needs are the fact that I need to make a house payment. They want to foreclose on my house. I walked out the door one morning and my truck is gone. It's been repossessed. I don't have money to put gas in my car to get to work, to make the money that I need to get lunch for my kids at school. Come on, God. These are my needs. And so there's anxiety, there's depression. I'm just striving. I'm just wrestling with the Lord. And then thankfully, in his sweet, sweet, gentle spirit, he said, Ashley, I'm not concerned about your house. I'm not concerned about your car. I'm not concerned about your credit score. Mm-hmm. You need me.
That's right.
You need to trust me.
Yeah.
I know it looks like it's all falling apart.
Yeah.
You need me. Just be with me. So there came a point, the turning point for me.
Yeah. Take us there.
Isn't that one of your questions?
Yeah. But I gave y'all.
Hey, Ashley, when does this get better?
I gave her 2 questions to prepare, and this is it. But I read a quote the other day, and it says this: there are times we trust God because of what we can see. Yeah. But there are also times where we trust God in spite of what we see.
Yes, that's perfect.
And I believe that is exactly where you found yourself. Of God, I don't see anything.
Yeah.
I don't see you.
Right.
So what was the turning point for you? What brought you into choosing to trust God in spite of what you could see? Well,
I mean, I'm still doing it every day. But here's one thing that I did, and guys, just know, I don't come up here with knowing like 8 million scriptures to give you and 4 points of how you can leave here and not worry anymore, and not, because the course of all these last years, I mean, there's health issues that come up with stress in life, right? I'm on medication because of it. The anxiety, just the stress, we are not made to be in fight or flight every second of the day. And so that's not what we're made to be. And so I began my journaling. I'm not going to read it all to you because sometimes I say bad words to the Lord.
It's real.
That's why I sing songs with lyrics that tell me what to say. I'm sorry. My journal is filled with me sitting with the Lord and telling him all the things that I need. I'm griping, I'm complaining, I'm mad at him, I'm upset, I'm angry. I'm saying, I don't know if I believe that you are who you say you are. And so it's filled with that. So, hey, God, can you maybe today be the day you fix it? Can the day be the day my husband gets a job? Can today be the day that I don't have to blah, 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 whatever, you fill in the blank? And I began to shift my prayers from not all of my complaints and all of my hardships, but changing it to the truths of who God is and what he says he's going to do regardless of if I see it or not. So my prayers begin to shift to, God, you are faithful, even when I'm not. You are trustworthy. Your word says it. I have nothing else to put my hope in. There's no one else, nothing else in this world that I have to put my hope in other than you, Jesus. So I'm going to go with you here. So my prayers begin to change. I begin to say things like, God, you are my provider, not Jamboree playing music. That's where I work, guys. It's part-time. It's amazing. I play with little kids all day. It's so fun. God, you are my provider, not Jamboree. God, you are a provider, not Tom Peacock Nissan. God, you are a provider, not Uber. You are my provider. So I begin to shift my thoughts off of me and the things that I need, that he's not meeting those needs, to who he is. And I began to experience peace. I honestly did. And that's what I long for, is for peace in my inside and in my environment. So when things are chaotic and crazy, I'll be in my room watching Netflix because I can't
Can't do it.
I can't do it.
Here's what I am hearing in your story. I think a lot of times when we come to hardship in our life, when we hit a roadblock, oftentimes in our battles that we face, we hold God in a hand as a weapon, and we try to use God as the weapon to fight. But what if we shifted our perspective? Because here's what happened. Here's what I'm hearing in your story.
Yes, translate the things I'm saying, Allison. Thank you.
You're welcome. Our friends. What if we shifted our perspective from it's me that holds God to it's God that holds me? It's God that holds you. It's God that was holding you and is holding you through everything, that the creator of the heavens and the earth, the creator of you, holds you. And that means that anything that you are going through, he is greater than.
Yeah.
He's bigger than it all. He's got perspective to see the road ahead. He knows what you're going to need to navigate.
Yeah.
But if all we do in our problems and our trials and our struggles is just try to hold God as the weapon, God's too small, right? God is a big God. And he is holding you.
Yeah.
So you're right. Jamboree, not your provider.
No.
Tom Peacock,
it's
not your provider.
No. Yeah.
Those babies that you get to play with, not your joy.
That's
God.
true. I hadn't thought about that.
God is, because you love babies.
I love babies.
Love babies.
But you're right, yes. Yeah.
Just let that, just right size that, ladies.
Yeah.
Where in your life are you trying to hold God? Where in your life does God need to be holding you?
Yeah.
That's a perspective shift.
Sure. Yeah. And here's the thing that, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to put my words are not good. I don't want to put like a spiritual salve on things.
Yeah.
You know, and just like sugarcoat life. Because I bared it to you guys what life is hard. And so it's okay to struggle. And it is. And the bottom line is just saying scripture doesn't take away the pain of losing a child. It doesn't take away the pain of miscarriage or failed marriages or job loss or death. It doesn't take those things away. But here's a verse that I have been just holding on to for the last couple of years, if I can just read it to you guys. It's in Romans. The book of Romans is so good. Romans chapter 15, verses 13, or 15:13. It says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him." He's the God of hope. There is no other God that we can put our hope in. There is no other thing, no other person. He is our hope. That he will fill me with all joy and all peace as I trust in him, not as I complain to him all day long of how he's not taking care of things. Because honestly, that's just giving the enemy a seat at my table. Talking with Catherine, you may mention this, but man, she said something the other day, and I was like, I don't like that at all.
Okay.
That when I'm coming to the Lord with all of my junk, what if Satan is just sitting there going, you know, that's the only reason she's praying to you right now. It's because she's scared. That the enemy is even just right there with me while I'm praying to the Lord. So as I trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Because y'all, there's nothing in me that can conjure up enough peace and joy and hope in my life. I've been trying for years now. It's only in Jesus. And it's in being with him, and it's in surrendering him to him.
While you were in the middle of the hard things, in the middle of all of this struggle, what did you learn about God?
Well, I learned he doesn't do things the way I think he should.
Well, that's something to learn. He's got different plans than we do.
And I feel like my motives and stuff are good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just need you guys to know that I struggle with fear. I'm so scared. I'm so scared that he's just not going to come through. I'm scared about my future. I'm scared about my kids' future. I just don't want them to be a train wreck. And I'm so scared that they are going to be that. Because look at me. I can't keep it together.
That's why I don't have kids yet, because I have those same fears.
Oh, just don't. Just get another cat.
I need you to say more hopeful things.
Get another cat.
Maybe that's all I need.
But what I'm learning is that he is so patient and he is so kind. And the peace that I receive by being in his presence, and that's the deal, I have to put myself in his presence. I can't just wake up tomorrow and not have to deal with anxiety or depression. I have to be in his word. I have to be intentional. And it looks different for everybody. I don't wake up at the crack of dawn and have 14 commentaries out and I'm just, as I go, I'm with the Lord and I'm talking to him and I'm just in his presence, and being with you guys each and every week is so encouraging and so uplifting. And so I've just learned that he is so patient and he is so kind. And here's the other thing. I thought about this the other day. There's two things I thought about that I wanted to say. They probably aren't going to make sense.
Go for it, girl. we'll tie it in somehow.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
So the last couple of years, I have been feeling like I'm being punished for something, because I feel like I'm doing the right things, right? And so that somehow God is punishing me for something. So what have I done? And I've said this to Darren as well. And it's flipped with me the other day, and I was like, He's not punishing us, He's pursuing us.
Right. That's right.
He's chasing after me, because at 45 years old, He's good enough to teach me some more about Him. He's sweet enough to say, I really want you to go to another level in your trust of me. And in that, it's going to unlock something, and you're going to get a little more glimpse of who I am. And what a privilege.
Yeah.
And I forget the other thing that I was going to... He's not punishing us, He's pursuing us, ladies.
Right.
It'll come to me in a minute.
Well, while you're thinking about that, Ashley, here's what I want to say to you. Just look at me. This is going to be uncomfortable. But we can do this because
Are we in marriage counseling right now? Because this is what I feel like.
We're in like friendship counseling. I shared this at Breakfast Club on Sunday with some of our students, and I talked about a couple weeks ago in Big Church. I said that I became a horticulturist during the shutdown. Well, I mean, like, kind of. I planted some plants in my backyard, and there's still, most of them are alive.
Well, that's because the Lord.
Amen.
It's the rain and the sun.
But I told the students about that. I was in Lowe's one day, like super random day, probably like November, and I decided to buy a plant because that's what you do in November in Texas. And it was this really, just beautiful. This beautiful plant. I don't even know what it is still today. I don't know what it is. But it said it could be in the sun, and so I was like, sweet, as long as I plant it in full sun, we're gonna be fine. So I got this plant and I took it home and I planted it in the yard, and then the freeze hit in February. Y'all, we just covered the plants with like bed sheets, like my extra like good pair of like king size nice bed sheets. We didn't have anything else, and we waited to the last minute, so we just covered our plants with my nice bed sheets, and we're just like, okay, Lord, you've got this. And then it like snowed and it froze and pipes burst. It was bad, and I was dealing with the chaos of everything at the house, right? And then one day I was like, well, I can't control this, but my backyard. I'm a horticulturist now. I know the things. So I go and I uncover all the plants, and everything looks rough. And then I look at this one plant, and I broke. I was devastated because it brought me so much joy, because it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And but it was like leaning over, the bloom had fallen off, and it was all brown and wrinkly, and so I went over and I just started to kind of pick off the dead leaves, and I picked them off, and but then I began to notice somewhere deep down by the roots there was little shoots of green, just barely poking through. And I was like, okay, there's some hope here. And so I pulled off all of the dead leaves, got rid of it all. I probably sprinkled some Miracle Grow on it, because that's what you do to make plants grow. And I hoped for the best. And as we were, we'd go back to the house every once in a while, and I'd go and check on it in the backyard, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this plant grew 2 feet taller, 2 feet wider, and went from having one bloom on it to like 4 blooms of the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my life. And I think that, and I told the students, I said, when I look at that plant, it reminds me of myself, and it reminds me of all of us. These people, you, Ashley, created to be this beautiful image bearer of God. And sometimes in life, we go through really, really hard things with no explanation. And we struggle. And we fight our way through life. And even when it feels like all we've got to offer is just this dead and broken stuff, God so sweetly peels it away. And for as long as we are connected to him, will grow us back stronger and more full of beauty. And Ashley, that is what I have seen God do in you. He continues to grow you stronger and wiser and more full of his beauty and his grace and his understanding. So everything that you have walked through, it's not for nothing. Because it's taught me as your friend what it looks like to walk graciously through really hard things.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Small group, that's all she can say is just thank you. And
Go ahead.
I hope that tonight you walking us through your story and what God has worked out in you and is continuing to work out in you. I hope that it's a call to every single woman in this room that God is not finished.
Yes.
One of my favorite passages is in 1 Peter. It's 1 Peter 5. I'll get that piece of paper later. It says this. It's 1 Peter 5, verses 10 and 11. The God of all grace, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, establish, strengthen, and support you after you have suffered a little while. To him be dominion forever. Amen.
Yeah.
God is not finished. He doesn't leave his work undone. I wrote this in my Bible. I said, I will not be left empty, wounded, beat up, or in shambles, that God will restore, establish, strengthen, and support me when suffering is over. When the trial and testing has passed, God will rebuild me. He does not abandon his work. Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
How is God rebuilding you?
Oh, gosh. Maybe you should have sent that one to me in a text.
Sorry. Holy Spirit.
I'll say this. He's rebuilding me in this, very specifically in my home. There's no other reason other than the Lord and the Holy Spirit that I have been able to be transformed in my heart towards my husband, in being compassionate towards him. Because when people struggle with depression, I can promise you that there's nothing in the world they want more than to not struggle with depression.
That's right.
So if you could wake up tomorrow and it be gone, you would pay whatever kind of amount of money you could muster up. So when I began to understand, I read a book called Loving, and I struggle with some depression as well, but it's short-lived for me. When I read a book called Loving Someone Who's Depressed, and I don't remember the author, just Google it or something, I don't know. To begin to have compassion on my husband when he's struggling. To not go, you should be a leader in this house. God has called you to this. You know all the right things spiritually, so you need to just do it. But for me to just love my husband where he is, and on days when it's hard to get out of bed, just help him. So he has shifted my heart in that. And also with my children, that I can begin to not try to control them to be who I think that they should be. And I'm not talking about careers and stuff like that, but in the Lord. That I try to make them be a certain way because I know this is how God would want them to be. But to trust the Lord with my children. If you were here this past Sunday for Scott Rogers to preach that message, duh. I didn't want to listen to it. I listened to it twice. That was to trust the Lord with my children and not try to control them and not try to make them be a certain way, even though they're good things. God, they were God's before they were mine. He has a purpose and a plan for them. And I'm just scared that they're not going to turn out right.
Yeah.
So to begin to just release control of my kids and my husband to the Lord and let him work in their heart. My gosh, he's going to do way better of a job than I am.
I agree with that.
I'll try.
Agree. I love you.
So those are some specifics.
It's good. Ashley, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you.
We've spent a lot of time
And
kind of like
way too sad.
diving real deep.
Yeah, I don't want to cry anymore.
So I have a way for that not to happen.
All right.
We let's come up for some air. And
Did we all take a deep breath? That's another good thing you can do for
Wow.
depression and anxiety too, guys.
Breathe.
Breath work.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
I was just
And laughter.
It's like a whole yes. So tonight we actually have another one of our friends.
My best friend in the world.
Yes. Her name is Melissa Williams, and Melissa is here to share with us her gift of comedy. So everyone, welcome up Miss Melissa Williams.
Hey, y'all. Hey, it works. Hey. Oh, I didn't know y'all thought I'm simply the best. That is so sweet. Are y'all going to have lights here? Or I don't even... They got to bring their friend with them. Thank you, Kathy. Golly. How are y'all? I like how they got to like do this together, and they're like, Melissa, can you do something alone? Thanks. And then they go like 15 minutes over, so like, hey, hurry up and make us laugh so we can sleep good tonight. No pressure. And then y'all were fun. They were funny, right? Give it up for them. I was so mad. I was like, why are they being funny? I thought we were going to get super depressed, get it going, get some boogers coming out, that kind of cry. Let me just go ahead. I know you guys are all wondering about my shirt. I dried it. So, it was bigger at about 3 p.m. So, it was longer. So, hey. So, enjoy. So the ladies in the back, you're missing it. There's looks like a little hot dog. Little hot dog. How are y'all? Is this fun that we're together? Oh my God, and we don't have to sit apart. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it if y'all want to. I mean, some of y'all are like, I wish we were apart because this lady's sitting on my thigh. I get it. Did y'all like that Tina Turner song? Oh, y'all, I wake up to that every day. That's my alarm song. Do y'all have like an alarm song, like a get ready song? Do y'all? Okay. Anybody want to yell theirs out? So you're liars. Because when you have a hype song, you send it. You're like, assembly the mouse. I mean, you like sing it. It's fine. Thank you, Carrie. My best friend's up front right here, 35 years, right here. So she's used to seeing this. So I have a testimony. This used to be out a lot, actually. Guys, seriously, the quarantine, guys. Y'all, okay, who works from home? Do y'all still work from home? Do a lot of people still work from home? Aren't you kind of like, hey guys, like you're like, hey, I don't have to wear a mask anymore to Hobby Lobby. Can I come to work now? They're like, no, we closed. We closed the company. But I don't have to wear a mask. Like, remember the mayor or the guy said, we don't have to wear a mask anymore. And they're like, we're saving money. No. Do you need paper or something? Why are you calling us? So Zoom meetings, team meetings, you guys doing a lot of those meetings? Okay, for anybody that doesn't know what those are, they're video meetings. It's like FaceTime, but you're on your computer and you're like, you have to wear clothes on top. You have to wear a bigger shirt than this, unless you move your computer. I could wear this if I move my computer, okay? Well, I was actually really bad at muting. Do you guys know how to mute good? Y'all know what mute means, right? You know when you mute yourself, you can't hear what's happening at the house. So when there's a big giant meeting going on with vice presidents, they can't hear you yell at people or say cuss words. Or in my case, because I don't cuss because I'm a Christian, with a half shirt on, at a woman's event, at a church. I sing, guys. Ashley is my best friend. Okay, Ashley, why would Jesus give me the bird voice of the world? Huh? And I'm like, oh, and y'all, she loves to sing. I know she can sing. I go to church, I know she can sing. Christmas carols, if you guys don't see me hang out with her at Christmas time, it's because she thinks hold on. I get upset. She's like, jingle bells, jingle bells. And I'm like, okay, we're at Walgreens. Calm down. Like, deck the hall. It's like, I don't need that right now. But I sing. Because that was kind of like, are any of you guys kind of like, she's kind of good, right? I love you. I'm going to meet you after this because your laugh is great. Okay. So I'm in a meeting. I work for a pretty big name, Caterpillar. I used to, for a company called Caterpillar. You know, the big giant yellow tractors, the big giant ones. It says cat on it. Okay. Because I say Caterpillar, and they're like, oh, you work for the bug company? No, it's cat. See, okay, that's where I work. So it's a huge company. It's all the vice presidents, all the big people, okay? Okay. We're on the video, and I'm a director, so I have to, be smart for at least 37 minutes a day, okay? Real smart. Like, they think I know way more than I do. Way more. P&Ls and, financial stuff. Any financial people here? Oh, you guys are so smart. Who's here? Wait, actually do it again? Oh, you guys even raise your hands good. You guys do it different than me. Y'all are like, whatever. I would have raised it better, but my hot dog would have came out. So, whatever. So, okay. So, we got the video going. They're like, Melissa, they call roll still because, well, y'all have met me. I don't show up a lot. So they're like, Melissa, are you here? I'm like, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm good. They're like, we're not doing video today. I'm like, oh, the one day I put a curl in. That's fine. No big deal. So I take the curl out, whatever. And I think I put my mute on. I'm good at mute. I know how to do mute. So I think I have it on. Now I have a new dog, okay? I'm a new dog owner. His name is Bueno. He is a Chihuahua. He is bilingual. His name is Bueno Rufus Williams. Okay, when I got him, he was 2 pounds, 2.3. He is now 7.1. Okay, I am a dog mom. I will have a sweatshirt. I wish I had it now. So, I love him. I never knew I would love a dog like this. I don't think I'm going to turn into I don't know. I'm going to probably turn into birthday mom, happy birthday, ruff, ruff. I may do that. I will. Actually, I will. I'm already planning it. So, but I love him, and I talk to him, and he listens. He's got big old Chihuahua ears that just are, and one worked, but one didn't for a while. I loved him. Well, he would come up to me, and I'm in the video. Okay, I think I'm muted, right? Okay, coffee's ready. Now, I do this all the time. I pick him up, muted. I think computer's right here. I'm muted. I pick him up and I go, Bueno, Bueno, you are a tiny little dog. You got a big brain. You're the smartest little dog in the room. And then I heard, Melissa. And I thought that was Bueno. So I said, Now, Bueno even went like this. They've never they were like, what is going, first of all, what's a Bueno? What's going on? Are you okay? Because after you've heard the year I've had, they think I've lost it. You'll hear. So then, about 9 weeks later, I thought my mute button was because then I put anybody use sticky notes? Man, they work until the air conditioner blows it off. Because I get cheap Post-its. They're just called notes. They're equate. They're just notes. Well, I put a Post-it and said, hey, hit the mute button, Mel. Whatever, I like to call myself Mel. I'm single. I don't know why I said that, but it just made sense to me right then. I call myself Mel. Hey, Mel, why don't you hit the mute button? Well, it fell off, so it's another day. It's another meeting, and it's not the same people, but it's more people. Not the same people. I'm kind of glad it wasn't the same people, right? But it's more people, okay? So this time I'm at the coffee area. Bueno's still asleep, okay? So this isn't a Bueno song. This is a different song, okay? But you'll get it. Wait, let me make sure, because I always mess it up and I get mad at myself. Because it actually comes to me subconsciously. I don't know that I'm seeing it. Carrie will she'll immediately know. Carrie, I'm sorry, she's right here. And then Ashley will actually know it too. Here it is. Okay, it's there. So I'm at the coffee place and I'm stirring it. No, it's no big deal. Just stirring it. And I always go, you get down the fiddle and you get down the bow, you kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light. Oh, no. And then it's 7:01 in the morning. I don't care. I'm trying to wake up. I have stuff to do. I work at home. This is my break room. Then I hear, Melissa? Because my bubble lit up. Y'all know that there's a bubble, everything lights up. They know it's you. Because then I started thinking, how do they know it's me? And then it probably looks like this. Get down the and you get down the boat, So, because, I hold the note, depending on what day it was. It was a Wednesday. I'll never forget it. So, y'all, Zoom, I'm glad that's over. Because it is over for me. It is. So I'm good. I make up words to songs, so that's something Ashley definitely makes fun of me for. I like Christmas songs. I definitely am like, jingle bell, jingle bell. I know the song, but I think it's fun to just be like, jingle bell, zamba down, zooba doo doo. I'm like a jazz singer. Like I'm more of a jazz singer. And if you're lucky, and you guys can maybe, I do text songs to people for like $3.99. I do happy birthday. Happy bells out, but out. You know what I'm saying. You don't need it to all be there. Hold on. I don't want to skip anything because everything I'm saying is riveting. That Tina Turner song, let me get back. That's what I was supposed to start with. Sorry, y'all. The Tina Turner song is a Christian song. Did y'all know that? Thank you. I call you when I need you. My heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wild. When you come to me, give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Okay. Speak a language of love like you know what it means. He made it. It can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong, baby. You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. No other gods. I'm stuck on your heart. Okay, see? Any song can be a Christian song if you're a real Christian. Okay? So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that in some of my groups in my therapy. I'm in therapy. Have y'all gotten that? Y'all figured that out? Okay. I'm in a lot of therapy. Woo! One of them was like, yeah, even, I love it. My therapist, this is when you know you have the right therapist. She goes, yeah, even drop it like it's hot. I was like, yeah, that's instructional. He's drop it like it's hot. Jesus cares for us. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like listen to that song when you get home. Maybe not tonight, but Ice, Ice, Baby. He's just telling us some stuff about some ice. Don't rock the boat, baby. Noah. Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Oh, sorry. I didn't even plan that one. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. So, you guys. So depression. See, you like that transition? So anyway, depression. Man, that guy. Lowercase d. Depression is really, 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 really hard to explain, isn't it? So when Catherine is like, would you do some comedy about depression? Make them laugh. But tie it in. Just like in a bow. Just maybe be depressed when you do it. I'm playing. Is my hot dog hanging out? We good? But I started thinking, I was like, how can I explain depression? My goodness. It's like a word problem. I know math is different now. Any homeschool moms or dads or really anyone out there, or dads. Sorry, guys. Hey, there's a couple of men in the back. Hey, give it up for the men in the back. They are keeping us on time and all that stuff. So anyway, okay. Y'all are doing a lot, but I just don't know what you're doing. I'm back there. So, what kind of math is it right now? Isn't it called something else? What kind of math is it? Don't act like I don't know what I'm talking. Y'all, isn't it different now? Like shamalama ding dong math. And it's like, but I don't know where the numbers go. And your kid's like, am I an idiot right now? Okay, so y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, well, I know back in my day, it was like called a word problem. Like Jack's going 6 miles per hour. And then Jill is at home dancing with John. So when will Jack get to the train station? How many apples did he bring? What did they eat for lunch? That's me in class. I don't care about Jack. That's literally me explaining depression, especially when I've made a room of women laugh really hard. I make people laugh when I don't even try. Sometimes it's because my hot dog's hanging out. But more than none, it's because God gave me a gift, and I use it since I was 3, not always healthy. Believe me, it was to get out of trouble. I broke the cookie jar, but look what I can do. My mom would be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, but I got cookies in my pocket. I stole some chicken nuggets earlier. Had to tell Cindy, I was like, I stole chicken. I mean, why would I tell him that? Like, I'm kind of an idiot, but I love myself. I'm coming to realize that it's just a gift. I know that. I know when I say that, some of you are laughing even when I say that, but I know that I bring joy to people. I know that. I know I've walked into a room when they are crying and I have stopped that process. I know that I have saved people from really scary things. And then I also know that I've gone home and not wanted to live. But I never knew how to explain it. I never knew how to explain it because who's going to believe that? Who wants to hear that? Hey, can you just be funny? We just need you to be funny. Can you maybe go put that shirt on again? Remember the hot dog shirt? Yeah, but I'm sad. And I need to talk to someone. You get told a couple times, you get told no, or I don't have time. Not that anyone in this room has done that. I'm not saying that. But you get told, or you say it maybe wrong, because I'm also really good at hiding it. Then you just stop asking. You're just like, Because guess what feels better? Laughter. I love making you guys laugh. So this is a high for me. Honestly. There's studies about it. Addiction. This is addiction. I love it. But it's not healthy all the time. So a year ago, actually, June 20th, 2020, I wrote a suicide letter after a show, a comedy show, not a singing show, even though some of you were probably confused. There were a lot of different things happening right then, but I was just ready. I'd had a really good show. I had Googled some things. My daughter was good. She was 24, had her big girl job. I had placed I had placed really good women in her life. No credit to him, right? I had placed I had made sure that I had good husbands and wives in her family, because I'm a single mom still. 24 years. It's no big deal, guys. It's no big deal. It's fine. But I was still wrestling with that. So I had done I've kind of like, I'm good. I was doing a Who's Counting tour. Y'all know I'm a comic, like here, I'm famous in Hobby Lobby. All the way from Hobby Lobby, Melissa Williams. I mean, I am. But I was doing a Who's Counting tour because I wanted to actually count how many people I made laugh because I thought that was cool. And I think I was at like 792 people or something. So I was like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I'm done. I was crying a lot. I was drinking alone. Still making all y'all laugh. I mean, I was working really well. I started Googling suicide. How could I do it and not leave a mess? I didn't want to do that part. Like, I didn't want my sister to have to deal with that. The letter was to many of you in this room by name. It was to some people at Caterpillar, which that made me laugh because I'm like I almost gave my 2 weeks in there. Like, hey, here's my password. So silly. When I Googled suicide, it actually scared me. So I prayed. And I actually was I prayed through this process. So I think the thing that I want to, there's a couple things real quick that I want to make normal. Have you guys heard that thing right now where it's like, we need to make blank normal? Now, I'm going to say this real quick. You guys are going to love this. Ashley, you know how she's like, I'm just so polite and so sweet. Because, she's the sweet one compared to me and her. Whatever. So I text her last night, and I'm like, hey, is there anything that you would want to make normal? Do y'all want to know what she said? Ashley, I'm sorry, I'm doing it. She said, gas, like tootin'. I go, what? Why would you say that? She goes, there's more room on the outside than the inside. And I just want to be able to toot. Wow. I didn't think we were going to go right straight into that. So I wrote that down because that made me laugh. Another one I said, let's make ordering dessert first. Normal. You said the little guy or gal walks up, hi, my name is Jackie. I'm here. I'm going to be your waitress. And before she even finished, hey, I want cheesecake. And bring me the dinner menu. And go like this. Because if you go like this, I'm serious. That's normal. I don't want them to go, oh, is it your birthday? No, I'm normal. Right? I want to dancing in Hobby Lobby or Walgreens because they play good music. Why are you playing the Jackson 5? 1, 2, 3. No. Why are you playing that if I have to go? Why are you playing? I want to dance with somebody. Why are you playing that? Don't play it. Don't play Prince in Hobby Lobby. So I'm dropping it like it's hot because it's a Jesus song now. Spanx. Let's make it normal to wear just Spanx. Just put some Spanx. I don't want it to be hot. Let me just put some Spanx on and y'all know that I was about to go to a special occasion. But I didn't want to put the other part on. So I got my power panties on. Where are you going, Kathy? Sorry, I have to mess with her. I love me some Kat. Y'all know Kathy. Stretching and making noise when you stretch. I would do more, but this is going to. But y'all, I've gotten looks. There are 3 of y'all that have looked at me at church when I'm like, oh. Y'all are like, I'm like, look, I'm trying to pop a shoulder. Singing for no reason. We've already done that. Y'all are tired of me. No. Ashley's fine. She's normal. She does that one good. Spitting. This was another one that Ashley brought up. Spitting. I want to spit because the Astros spit at work. They just walk around like, they do it on TV. I didn't agree with that one 100%, but because I don't know how to spit. Like some people can do that whole, and then they go, and it like, I'm a girl that doesn't know how to do that. Like my sister tried to teach me when we were kids. If you know my sister, that's actually a very true story. And she'd be like, no, you gotta do this. You gotta be like, and I'd be like, and she'd be like, no, really, you gotta get, and I'd be like, and I would try and it would land on my shirt. And then I would gag cry, tell my mom. She'd get beat and grounded. I wouldn't, because I'm funny. Just joking. Here's what else I would love to have be normal. Anxiety and depression and talking about it and not having someone tell you, have you prayed about it yet? Have you prayed? And I am not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm not trying to act like I know more than you. But I have to tell you, I never stopped praying. I begged him, Lord, I want to be with you. Please take me. Please let me be with you. I'm tired of here. I'll be good. I'll be better with you. I'll make you laugh. Lord, please let me come there. Please, I'm not good here. I'm only funny here. I have nothing else to offer. I'm tired. I'm not married. I would name I'm not married. No man loves me. I've never been married. I would name all the things, all the things that I've been bad. I've been this. People know I'm this. People know I'm that. I begged him. I prayed. I believed. Oh my gosh, y'all. My neighbors in my apartment for sure think, oh my gosh, I've probably saved people through my floor because I get on my face because I don't know how to surrender deeper than that. Don't tell me to pray. You need a different book. Maybe you need to go to Lifeway. Have you been to Hobby Lobby? I mean, it sounds like you dance there, but maybe you need like that thing that says gathering with a scripture underneath it. Do you have any words or y'all, I am not joking. Some of you are going like this so hard that your neck's going to be jacked up in the morning. So I'm not alone here. Okay? So stop asking people who tell you, I feel depressed and I don't know how to explain it because Jack he's going to the train station and I don't know why. The word problem. I don't care about Jack. I don't know how to explain why I'm depressed because I know I just made you laugh for an hour and a half. My therapist is like, Melissa, you don't have to explain it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Actually, because everyone here in this room needs me to explain it. So, anxiety. I've never dealt with anxiety. I pick my arms. If you ever see me pick my arms, knock my hand out of my, I'm dealing with that. I'm sorry to be gross, and if that's gross, I'm sorry, I'm being real here. I have a hot dog hanging from my shirt. But I pick, and that's something I didn't know. I'm one of these. And I thought it was because I was tired, because I'd be like, I thought it was like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm just gonna rub myself to sleep. But then I started to make myself bleed, because I was anxious. I went to a doctor. While they're talking to me, I'm like this. I don't know what this is. He's like, hey, what's going on here? Oh, nothing. I'm very tired and I'm rubbing myself to sleep. It's a soothing thing. I'm actually very mature. He's like, you know that's anxiety, right? Oh, phew. I just spit on everyone right here. Sorry, Carrie. I'm very sorry. So we're gonna get on some medicine. When you have a mom or anyone in your family that has abused prescription drugs, you're terrified of drugs. When they said prescription drugs, you are like, don't give me a lot. I remember actually telling him, will you give me only 7? Just give me 7. Well, he's like, well, you're taking 1 a day. Well, we're going to see each other every Monday then. Because I was terrified to have a bottle at my house. So, uneducated, scared, fear, like Ashley said, get educated, talk to people. That's why I want it normal. Talk to people. Be able to walk up to your fellow, we're all sitting on each other's thighs. Talk to people. Be able to go in your small group. Be able to go out, even at, that's what I mean. Normal isn't just in small group. I love small group. I'm not trying to make fun of small group at all. Please, I will be fired 4 minutes after I get off the stage. I love small group. But small group can be also very group. What stays in this group stays in this. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I get that, and I love that. But we also need to talk to each other. My group needs to talk to your group because I can't understand what's happening in my group, but your group, I think your group could talk to my group. Can we have all groups get together? Let's make that normal. And let's laugh. Y'all, I just made fun of myself, picking my arms. I can't believe I even said that to y'all. I'm not saying it's funny. I'm not saying depression is funny. But I was supposed to be dead right now. I entered a treatment center because I Googled suicide and it scared me, number one. And then I Googled, because it scared me, 3 days later, I Googled, this is local depression, suicide, residential help. And the first place that came up was in Austin. I said, local dummy, ooh, Google, idiot. So then I got very upset again. I said, Houston local suicide. Rawr. Found the place, entered, 46 years old. You think entering a place is like your mom bringing you into a place and checking you in, and a gurney gets rolled out, and you're like, bye, Mom. Nope. I'm like this. Oh, shoot. I was just joking. I'm actually feeling really good. I'm fine. I appreciate you guys listening to me.
Love you.
Thank you. I hope that no one walks out of here thinking that I'm making fun of anything. I will tell more of my story if you want to hear it. I know that we're out of time, and I know I need to wrap up. I have more to say. I have more to my story. I'm alive. The Lord was like, you cannot come up here yet. I will punch you in the throat. He loves me. Oh my gosh, is he coming up here? Okay, you know what, I'm just keep going. He loves me. I didn't mean Jesus was coming up here, y'all. Sorry. Hey, Jesus, everybody. No, just joking. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. I said that in a weird. Okay. Yeah, hey, hot dog. Eyes on the hot dog. I appreciate you guys. I'm alive. Things are not. Hey, you know what else? It's not easy right now. Every day I battle. Every day I battle that. I don't talk to Carrie every day. We check on each other. We can go months. We can go weeks. I scare her. She like I'm saying, best friend. When you're a best friend of someone like me, Ashley has to check on me. Hey, where's your brain today? I don't know. Do you have it? We check on each other. I've scared my family. It's not easy. But Jesus never gave up on me. I pray just like I used to. But I'm listening differently because I have medicine. So my medicine has actually cleared up something. That's not scientific, but he did something. Let's make it normal just to talk about it. Don't, when somebody goes, ooh, I went to a psychiatrist appointment. Don't look at that person right then and go, oh, psychiatrist, isn't that the one? Ooh. Don't make us embarrassed to say it, because that's when we hide, and that's when we start Googling. Not making fun of Google. Love Google. I can find some good ice cream on Google, guys. But don't make me Google. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Melissa. So, laughter through tears is one of my favorite emotions. I don't know about you guys, but I so appreciate Allison, and Ashley, and Melissa being so raw up here. And one of the things that God has just really pressed over my heart so heavily is that so often we pretend what we're not, and we hide so much pain and so much despair. And I want to encourage you, if you're visiting us tonight and you don't have a church, we would love to meet you, right? We're about to start a new series this Sunday at 9 or 11 across the street, and it's on the Beatitudes. And we're going to go and take a deep dive in that, and we would love to have you. I'm going to ask the women that are in small group, will you raise your hand if you're in a small group here at the Met? I love that, right? So here at the Met, we're all about inviting people into meaningful relationships with God and each other. So we have small groups, which are groups for women, groups for men, groups for couples, and we just live life together. And I want to invite you to consider that. We'd love to tell you more about that. We're going to close out with praise and worship. And after worship, we're going to have some women that are here to pray with you. And they're going to be over to my left. So if you need prayer tonight, please don't leave without letting us join with you. You know, how many warriors do we have in the audience? Do we have some warriors? Yeah, right? Okay, so I used to be the queen of warriors, right? I mean, I learned it from my mom. I was an expert at it. So I would worry about something and I would take it in prayer. And I felt real spiritual, right? I'm doing the right thing. I'm taking it in prayer. And God started to press on me. I've told you not to worry. I've told you in Timothy that I do not give a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind. And God started to tell me, but it says it's a spirit of fear, right? And he said, that fear that is coming over you is coming straight from Satan. It is not coming from me. Satan uses it to distract us, and it works. As Ashley was saying, we were talking about fear and worry, and I was telling her that when a year ago in March, I was in ICU with COVID. I almost lost my life to it. I was in the hospital for 18 days. It was the week before, the week I got offered this position is when I ended up in the hospital. Tell me that wasn't an accident. I believe that Satan was trying to take me out. But when I got to the emergency room and they did an x-ray and a CAT scan and they said, you've got double pneumonia, your oxygen saturation rate is dropping, we're putting you in isolation and we're going to run a COVID test. And then they left me alone. And my prayer was, dear Lord, don't let this be COVID. Do you know what he said to me in the spirit? He said, do not bring that fear-based prayer to my altar. He said, don't you know that Satan loves nothing more than to chase you to my altar in fear? He said, I will tell you how to pray every day. And over the last 3 months, and Ashley spoke to this, but God gave me an image, and this is what he wants me to say to you. That God is at the altar, and we are in front of him with our fear, our worry, our anxiety, and Satan is behind us going, the only reason they are there is because of me. Because Satan doesn't care if we're praying, if what we're praying is about the lie that he has told us. And what you need to know is that I said I was a queen of worrying. I don't worry anymore. I don't have 1 minute of the time that the Lord has given me here to waste it on a lie of the evil one that is trying to kill and destroy me. When he brings a fear to me now, I quote scripture. Remember when Jesus was in the wilderness and Satan was tempting him, he quoted the word to him. If the living word has to quote the written word, don't you think we need to? I repeated scripture every time that fear came, and it got worse because Satan knew that I figured it out. I kept applying the word, and I remember 5 weeks later, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, I have not had one worry today. And I worried all the time. I don't anymore. And you know what? My time in prayer now is a posture of hearing what God has to say to me, his daughter. I hear from him now every time I go in prayer. He tells me what to pray. I don't tell him what I think he needs to do anymore. And I'm going to tell you, I got a list of answered prayer because I am in a posture of listening to our Father. And I want you to walk away tonight encouraged and remember, when you have fear, when you have worry, you better know who it is from. It is a lie. Do not give it more life and take it into prayer. That's exactly what he wants. I am so grateful that you are here tonight. I have one ask as you leave after worship. At the exits, there's going to be some women that have some cards. And on those cards, I want you, if you want to get plugged in for God's kingdom, if you want to do something for the Lord, I want you to fill out that card. It might be prayer. It might be you want to help promote women's events. It might be that God has brought you through a trial and you have a testimony that others need to hear. Or you might be that person that when somebody is depressed, you're able to come alongside them because God has pulled you out of that. I want you to take time to fill out that card because we need you. God needs you, sisters. God needs you. Look at the world around us. We are needed. On the back of those cards, I want you to write your prayer requests and know that we are going to pray over each and every one of them. And again, thank you so much for being with us. We're going to close out with praise and worship. Thank you so much, Sydney and your team. Thank you, ladies.
Would y'all stand and sing with us? I've carried a burden for too long on my own, and I wasn't created to bear it alone. But I hear your invitation to let it all go, and I see it now. I'm laying it down, and I know that I need you. I'll run to the Father, fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding.